Hi, I'm Jim from Left Wing Libertarian.
And I am Anna from BeautyGirlsMom.com.
Today you're here to join us as we give Anna a special surprise. As you know, September is Anna's birthday month. You ready for your birthday surprise?
I dread a birthday surprise from you.
Here's some hints. A nautical themed bag.
Disney Cruise Line. This is the bag I bought on our first Disney cruise.
Nautical themed hats to wear on the beach. And are you ready for this? The complete sum of $200.
Thank you. What am I doing with the $200?
We're going on a cruise.
With $200?
Yes, I got an ad in an email yesterday from one of the cruise agencies that said cruises are starting at $200 for you and your family.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me see you find a cruise that can take all of us for $200.
So like how much more would it be? 210? 225?
225. And that's how they get you.
Is that how they get you?
That's how they get you.
What did they get me with now?
Well, they got you with that $200 per person, which you didn't read, cruise offer. And a lot of cruise lines do advertise special discount cruises, starting at the crazy low rate of $200.
Okay, well there's the two of us and then we have 3 children. So that's 2 people plus 3 children.
Well, yeah.
Right?
You want to do some figuring? You want to do some ciphering?
Ciphering. Doing some arithmetic.
You do some.
Yeah.
Okay. How much money do we need now?
Well, we don't know what the kids' rate is. And now Bridget has a boyfriend, so is he coming with us or not?
Of course.
Okay, so, well, now we need a stateroom that seats 6. Where do we
Or
get?
multiple staterooms.
So now, are we going to get charged adult rates for them?
Looks like I'm going to be a little short. That's not a comment on my height. So a $200 cruise. You will see these ads all the time. You'll get them in your email. You will get them in the newspaper. You will see $200 cruise ads in a lot of places. The reality of the $200 cruise
I saw one leaving Costco in a big giant billboard.
Did you?
Yes.
Yes. The reality of the $200 cruise is it doesn't really exist. For $200, excuse me, that does not include your port fees or your taxes, which can drive that $200 price up to almost $300. And when someone says starting from $200,
They mean the entire ship, right?
that's like when you walk into the Lincoln dealer and they tell you that your car starts at $30,000, but by the time you add in your bells, your whistles, your Sirius satellites, you now have a $50,000 car. The $200 cabin that they're quoting you is the lowest level cabin on the ship.
Okay, have we ever stayed in the lowest level cabin on a ship?
We have.
Did we have a good time?
We had a blast.
Did they serve us less food?
They don't serve you less food.
Was our stateroom smaller than other staterooms?
It was smaller than other staterooms, but it was a pretty standard size stateroom. It comfortably accommodated 4 of us without any problem. Now that was on a Disney cruise ship.
Okay, but that's and on Carnival one time too. But that's really the myth of the cruise industry. All the staterooms, unless it has a balcony or not, are all the same. There is no difference between deck 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's very little difference in the size of cabins on cruises, unless you're going for like a deluxe cabin or a
mini
suite or a junior suite or something like that. The cabins are pretty much standard size across the board, whether they're inside, outside,
Yeah,
balcony.
the inside and outside staterooms are the same. It's almost like when they build the ship, it's just a compartment and they slit it in, which is exactly what they do.
There is a big difference, though, if you are a little bit on the claustrophobic side or if you need that daylight dark time contrast to kind of keep your biological clock on.
Your circadian ribbon.
Yeah, to keep you.
Or rhythm, if you want to pronounce the word correctly.
And some people do. Some people need, I love sitting out on a balcony. I like being able to open up the curtains if I don't have a balcony and look out on the water. Did we still have a good time on that inside cabin bottom of the cruise ship? We literally were right outside the door where they were handing in the luggage.
I was watching a documentary just the other day about somebody who went up to Alaska, and without the dark curtains, they couldn't get that circadian rhythm going right. Mm-hmm. And I think they called it like insomnia or something.
Yes. That was probably it. I don't think it was a documentary though.
Okay.
It is difficult to sleep though with light. So, you want to, but it's also difficult to wake up in the morning if you don't have that sunshine.
Well, do you get
thing
more
coming
seasick
in.
or less seasick on a cruise ship if you're on the lower staterooms or the top ones?
I've heard different stories about that. I don't get seasick, so I don't really know. There are people that say you have less rocking on the bottom of the ship. There are people that say it's better to be higher up on one of the upper decks because you hear too much noise on the bottom and that adds to your seasickness. The reality for most people of seasickness is it's really just an adjustment in your inner ear, the
It's
balance.
in your head. The ships are so huge you don't feel it unless you're riding through an actual
It is
hurricane.
literally in your head. It is an inner ear balance thing, and some people take a little bit longer to adjust to the motion of the ocean. So within about 24 hours, you should be able to adjust to that. But we're not talking about seasickness. We're talking about your $200 cruise.
I was going to give a Scuba Jim moment here. When you have to clear your ears, whether it's on a ship, while scuba diving, or on an airplane, do not grab your nose, pinch it, and blow. Instead, just swallow.
I love how he stays on top.
That's why chewing gum is helpful.
Love it.
People tune in to hear my side tips.
So let's talk about legitimate cruise discounts.
Okay.
First of all, those $200 cruises, that's the starting price. You can find cruises. Now, those are going to be short cruises. Three-night cruises generally are the $200 ones.
Our camera operator has been looking on her iPad, or rather your iPad, while we've been talking. She did find the $200 rate on the ad that I looked at before we started filming here, but it says it's a two-person limited stateroom.
Well, there you go. That's one thing. But there are things, the $200 limit.
Plus port charges.
Plus port charges.
And taxes.
The fees might be for the first and second person only. So they could bump up the price of the cruise for the third and fourth person. Now, typically they don't do that. Typically, if they tell you it's $200 per person, that applies to the first and second person in the stateroom. All the other people in the stateroom, generally person 3 and 4, are a little bit discounted. You'll find some deals where they offer you the first person at one rate and the second person 50% off. Especially in those situations, the third and fourth people in your cabin are going to pay higher than the second person who got the 50% discount.
But it's still going to be the standard sort of kid rate or whatever.
Well, not everybody has a kid rate. Some people have just a flat rate. Disney has, not only do they have a child's rate, but the rate is adjusted based on the age of the child. Some cruise lines have just a child's rate for a third or fourth person, and some cruise lines just charge a flat fee for the third and fourth person. So it doesn't matter whether you're bringing a 3-year-old or a 30-year-old, it's going to be the same price across the board.
Okay.
So those are discounted cruises. But you do want to look into what your extras are going to be. How much are your taxes and your port charges? How much extra are they going to charge you to bring the third and fourth person?
We're not talking excursions now. We're just talking about getting
Just talking
on the
about
ship.
a cruise ship, nothing else, just getting on the ship. You also want to look at things like, a lot of times what happens is you go and you're right at the point where you're going to give your credit card for that $200 a night cruise, and then they'll make you a special offer for an extra $50. You can now bump up to a veranda cabin. What they don't tell you, or what you can't see right away, is that it's $50 per person in your cabin per night of your cruise. So for a party like us where there might be 4 people, you're talking about $50 for each of us per night of the cruise. That takes
or now, because we've got one of our children is engaged, now we're talking about 6 people in 2 staterooms.
But when you see that offer as you're
$300
about
a
to
day.
check out, you think, $50 more and I get a balcony. I'm going to go right ahead and sign up for that. Make sure you're reading all of the conditions on the thing. But there are legitimate discounts. Cruise lines often offer discounts if you book early or if you book late. If you book early, there's generally a discount off of the regular rack rate. If you wait till the last minute when they're trying to sell those cabins, there's generally a discount off of the rack rate.
2 caveat emptors here. The first one is any outfit that calls you unsolicited on the telephone saying sign up for this, you want a cruise or anything else, scam, hang up, whatever, just run away.
Usually a scam. Don't worry about those.
Don't even give them your info. Now, but here's the other one though. Have you ever gone to a cruise ship where we have booked the, because you're Irish, the third class steerage stateroom where you're comfortable, and at the last minute I've said, I've upgraded us to a suite?
Yes, there are some cruise lines I'm going to say most cruise lines will do it. You can wait until you get to the port, book your $200 cabin. When you get to the port,
Well, that's step one. You actually have to have a ticket on and be booked.
Yes, you have to have a ticket on.
Step two, be prepared to stay in that room if you don't get it.
Yeah, you don't book a $200, deck 3 cabin on the inside if what you really can only cruise in is the balcony cabin. But there is the potential for you to get to the port and ask them for an upgrade. Now, they do generally discount those upgrades. If you upgrade now from your inside cabin to a balcony cabin, it will be at a significant discount over what you could have bought it.
Because remember, the ship's
cabin
leaving.
is not sold.
Yeah, the ship's leaving. It's leaving, and the ship has a chance to make an extra $200.
Exactly.
10 staterooms, $2,000. They do that every single week. That adds up to, a premium that that desk brings in for the cruise line right there at the
Absolutely.
point of sale.
So that is one way to get a discounted cabin. Another way to get
you have to do that though before you get on the ship. You don't get on the ship.
You don't get on the ship. You do it at check-in, basically. Okay. Another way to get a discount on a cruise ship is with the cruise line discounts. Now, the discounts vary by cruise line, but generally there's a discount for the military. There's a discount for senior citizens, which they consider anybody over 55. There are some discounts for police and fire. There are some discounts for AAA.
If you're thinking about cruising, though, go to the cruise line websites and sign up for their programs, emails, whatever. Get on their mailing list.
Yes.
And then just read them for a few weeks and see what you get. Become educated.
Absolutely, because once you sign up on the website for the cruise line, they will send you their emails whenever they're running specials or anything like that. Some state residents, Florida in particular, lots of discounts for Florida residents because they expect you to be able to drop things at the last minute and go on a cruise. It's Labor Day weekend. We opted not to go anywhere this weekend, but if we were in Florida, we could have contacted one of the cruise lines
on Thursday
night and been on a cruise ship Friday morning at a Florida resident discount. Again, because these are last minute cabins. These are not going to be sold.
Oh, wait. That $200 doesn't include airfare to get to the port.
No, it certainly does not.
And it doesn't include the transportation charge to get from the airport itself to the port and back to the port.
Or parking at the port.
Or parking,
whatever you decide to do. So you want to consider that as well. Some of the other discounts, though, that are available. We belong to Costco. Not only does Costco offer discounted travel packages.
This, by the way, is an exclusive membership program that, as a fan of the Beauty Girls Mom Show, if you'd like to join, just let us know. We will vouch for you, and Costco will, of course, accept you as a member. It's that exclusive.
But you can join Costco. If you're a Costco member, you can book discounted travel through them. Now, I haven't done a comparison between what I can book a cruise at through Costco and what I can just go online myself to the cruise line website. The good thing about Costco, though, is if you book through them and you have a certain level of membership, what is it, the business level?
Well, I was just going to say, you have to depend upon what your membership is, because some of the cruises will give you the rebate, some won't. Some, in lieu of the rebate, they will give you a cruise voucher to use on the day of sailing, which is almost like Costco got a $200 commission for selling you the cruise, and they handed the commission back to you. Which brings up a good point. There's commission involved in this. Should I go down the street to the local travel agent that puts up the signs on the marquee that says cruises from $2.99?
Well, and that's kind of the next topic that I wanted to get into. There are bonuses.
It's almost like I saw the list.
There are bonuses that help offset the price of your cruise. A big one for a lot of travel agents is a shipboard credit, where you'll pay X amount of dollars for your cruise. Maybe it's not the $200 a person, maybe it's $350 per person, but now each cabin that you book will have a $50 onboard credit. That credit varies. It varies by travel agent. Sometimes the cruise lines themselves will offer not as much. The cruise lines themselves, it's usually when you book from an outside company. American Airlines has one running where you will get bonus mileage on your American Airlines frequent flyer program, but you'll also get a shipboard credit depending on the level of cruise that you book. If you book a $200 per night Carnival cruise, you might only get $30 back for that cabin. But if you book a 11 or 12 night celebrity cruise or a Disney cruise, you might get $250 back. So
the cruise line gives you an onboard credit of $100. Mm-hmm. That's not the same. I guess for you, it's the same as saving $100. Because you're going to buy drinks, you're going to eventually the people, how long does it take for the people who go around the drinks to recognize our table?
10 minutes. Only takes people 10 minutes to remember you. Don't ask me how. They just know.
When you're sitting there.
We have been on a cruise ship our second night.
Yeah.
And we're not big drinkers.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Where the waiters came in from the far end of the restaurant
Mr.
yelling,
Jim!
Mr. Jim with a giant ice sculpture with what was it,
Watermelon. Yeah, it was a
limoncello or
watermelon
something,
with something in it. Yeah.
yelling his name
As
from
he
across.
came across to us and just poured drinks for every single person at our table. Because that guy just knew.
Imagine him being so memorable. I
Yeah.
don't even know. But that brings up something else. Another thing that travel
But that
agents...
$100 voucher, though, is $100 worth of those drinks. It might only cost the cruise line $50 or $25.
But you can
to
usually...
it looks like $100.
That $100 onboard credit you can usually use for anything. You can use it for dining. You can use it for drinks. You can use it for souvenirs, charged to your stateroom. You can use it towards your excursions. Whatever you want to use it for, you can use that shipboard credit for. So it is like a discount on your cruise. Another thing that they offer as an incentive for you to book a cruise, and again, sometimes it's offered through the cruise lines, more often it's offered through travel agencies or other travel organizations, free drink packages. Adults on most ships have to pay for things like soft drinks, sodas, and stuff like that. You'll get coffee, tea, and water.
Yeah, not to be a here's my thing with that, though. We don't drink a lot. We have an entire liquor cabinet upstairs. We've gone to mixology classes.
No drink.
But I mean, the point is, we drink socially at parties and events. And, this is not vodka. It's tequila. But the point is that we drink the drinks of the day. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we go on a cruise and there's a different drink at lunch and a different drink at dinner and a different coffee of the day, we are ordering every one of those. Because it adds variety to the thing.
It's not like we're drinking, 6 or 8 drinks over the course of a day. We're ordering one drink at dinner, one drink at lunch. We might order a cocktail in the evening, and then you and I are splitting.
Or we'll order the drink and the non-alcoholic, or a regular cocktail and the drink of the day. And but if you were to look at our bar bill at the end of a 7-day cruise, you would drink all the way down. But it's not. We're not getting a rum and coke every single meal 3 and 4 times. It's part of the variety and the tasting thing.
But I think the thing to know is we very infrequently order sodas.
Yeah.
We might order an iced tea.
When's the last time we bought a soda card? Well, Disney doesn't require soda cards.
Disney doesn't for adults.
There you go. What's a soda card?
So, again, on most cruise ships, the only people that get free soda...
Didn't they get a wristband on one of them?
I think Carnival maybe did a wristband.
Yeah.
Anyhow, for the most part, soda is included on a Disney cruise ship for everybody. Not every cruise ship does that. You do have to pay extra for sodas. Again, you'll get coffee, tea, and water as your beverages of choice. If you want anything,
at breakfast. I don't know if you get them the rest of the day.
But if you want anything other than that, you have to purchase the drinks individually, or you can purchase their drink package, which is a flat fee over the length of time of your cruise. So that fee varies. A 3-night cruise, maybe it's $30. A 7-night cruise, maybe it's $50. But another incentive that they offer you is a free drink package, which can be a huge savings if your family is going to be drinking a ton of sodas, keeping the cups full. And again, with the drink packages, you can get the refillable mug kind of things. Yeah. So,
well, that's something to consider, because it might be that your kid has to walk around with this, and this keeps getting refilled, which could be a bit of an inconvenience.
Or they give you the card, or they give you the wristband. There's a way to identify you as the person that can get free sodas.
Luckily, this is one of those things that technology has made better. Do you remember the coffee cards?
Yes.
I actually had to go to dinner, put down my stateroom key, put down the coffee card, put down a photo ID, because they had to go through that process to say, is this card being passed around to other people?
But again, when you factor in the free drink packages, that's another discount on your stateroom. If you're going to book the $200 stateroom and then you're going to turn around and have to pay $30 for everybody in the stateroom to get a drink card, that's a pretty decent savings over the cost of your cruise. Another thing that some of the cruise lines are doing...
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's have a separate topic here. Hold on. Because we're on drinks. No, this is important. We have to interrupt here. On the second...
You don't ever not interrupt.
On the second night of cruising, or at the latest, the third night, you come to your table and your waiter or assistant waiter doesn't have your drinks ready for you. Good or bad? Do you tip them? Do you cut them off and give them nothing?
Cut them off.
No, seriously. Because, well, hold on.
I know that upsets you, but on most...
This $200 doesn't include tips, apparently.
It does not include tips.
That could be a lot of money.
It can be a lot of money.
You got to tip the room attendant, the assistant waiter, the head waiter, the maitre d'.
Most good servers usually by the second night, will know you. They'll know your drinks. They know what to bring you.
And then they'll know if you're getting the drink, because they might ask you, do you get the drink every day? And we go, yeah, that's what we do. It's for the fun of it.
Yeah,
if they don't ask you, ditch them on their tip. Spend the last meal at the buffet and cut them out. Cut them dry.
And you can't do that on a lot of cruise lines now because they automatically charge you those tips. So you can't skip out. Like
They make you feel
used to do.
they make you feel bad because you have to go down to guest services and go, I'll tip separately. Don't. If you got good service, reward the people for what they do. If you got bad service, don't reward them. Cut them back.
So that brings me
Tell
to
them about the balloon guy.
the balloon. Oh, we were on a
Celebrity
princess
cru-
or
no,
celebrity,
celebrity. Yeah,
a
celebrity.
celebrity cruise
12 or
when
14
Bridget
days.
was very young. It was a 14-night cruise, and we had a waiter at our table. And
Very good waiter and assistant waiter.
Very good. We did tip what the recommended amount was.
But we had a waiter at another table.
There was a waiter at another table that we actually tipped because he made it a point every single night to come over to our table. Now, granted, there weren't a lot of children
Well,
on the
that's
cruise.
the point. When you go on a Disney cruise, there's a lot of kids.
Yes.
Every one of those waiters should know how to entertain children.
Yes.
And adults. But when you go on a celebrity cruise, on a 12 or 14-day cruise, or, a transatlantic 30-day cruise sort of thing, there are no kids. Very
Right.
few, if at all. So for a lot of these people, entertaining your children is almost like they get to spend time with their kids at home. They get to practice some of their tips and tricks and things they do. When that waiter comes over from another table to entertain your children, absolutely, recognize them for what they do.
And we did. We gave him a tip, which kind of offended our waiter a little bit because we asked our waiter for the
other guy's name, and they're like, how do we send it to him? And he was like, I'm your waiter. And it's like, yeah, pal, we didn't ask that. We just asked how do we. And then even the maitre d' came and was like, did something wrong? What did you do? And it's like, no, matter of fact, nothing's not wrong. But that guy was so above and beyond, we wanted to recognize him.
Nothing is not wrong. We speak English in our household. Anyhow, another big thing on a lot of cruise ships is adults only dining or specialty dining, which is a separate fee that you have to pay to go to their specialty restaurants. Some of them allow children, some of them do not allow children.
If you're on the Disney Magic, go to Palo, ask for a favorite waiter. His name is, message us and we'll tell you. Anyway, his wife is on the ship with him also, and they travel as a pair, and she works in the dining room, he works in Palo. The point is, you only have to go to Palo once or twice, and you're going to find some people that you really enjoy spending that hour or two with.
Yes.
That's really the experience of it. These people talk to you, they engage, they know who you are.
Yes, but another way that they give back or that you get some kind of rebate is they will offer a free dining package. So if you...
Wait, food's included on a cruise ship?
Food is included on a cruise ship, but if you want to do one of these specialty restaurants, it can be a little bit pricey. It depends on the cruise ship.
Is this another way they're getting you?
It's another way they're getting you. So you don't have to ever dine there. The food is perfectly fine on most cruise ships in any of the dining rooms.
Next, you're going to tell me helicopter rides on excursions aren't included?
They're not included.
Oh.
But there are ways to get free dining. So if you want to go on a cruise ship and you want to do the specialty restaurants, some of them have multiple specialty restaurants, like Disney on some of the ships has 2 of them. If you get this free dining package, you can dine at some of the specialty restaurants and it won't cost anything extra for you. Sometimes the fee is minimal, but we're talking usually generally about $25 a person to go to one of the specialty restaurants. So you might not be saving a ton with the free signature dining package, but again, it is a way to take that $200 cruise and instead of adding another extra $50, $100 because you want to do a couple nights in the specialty dining restaurants, it's a way for you to get some of the money back.
Excellent way to celebrate. What did we have on one of the cruises? We went to, we did a cruise to Canada, and we did. It was it was over Labor Day weekend. That's right. We did we did an everybody's birthday party sort of dinner.
And we went to the steakhouse.
Went to the steakhouse. We recognized all the September birthdays. We had Bridget, me, you, and somebody else. We had 4 of us birthday parties, and we just recognized them all there at the one time.
And it was a very nice dinner. But again, that was an extra, I think on that cruise, it was like an extra $30 per person. So with a free dining package.
Plus the tip.
Plus the tip.
And the drinks.
The $30 per person could end up being a pretty good savings for you. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is the $200 cruise. You will find...
That's what we started talking about.
You will find, for the most part, when you see these $200 cruise offers, they're being offered by Carnival Cruise Line or maybe Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. These are not your high-end cruise lines. If you are looking for a luxury, elegant cruise experience, You're not going to find it on Carnival. So your $200 cruise offer, you kind of get what you pay for in a lot of these instances.
Let me give you a difference. Every night at dinner, you order a cup of cappuccino, and it comes to you, and the thing, like the drizzle, the syrup, whatever it's called, comes to you, and it's in the shape of a heart. It's in the shape of a ship's anchor. It's in the shape of the outline of the country that you're going to visit tomorrow. And then in Carnival, it's just a dollop if it's there at all. The point is, it's how important is that to you?
I don't even want to say that, because we've been on Carnival cruises where they've been very nice. We've had good experiences. We've had great food. That steakhouse, that was a Carnival cruise ship. It was a phenomenal meal, one of the best cruise line meals we've ever had. That stateroom that we were in was we booked suites for everybody, and we had a lovely sitting area outside of the bathroom, a dressing area. With two bathrooms. That was a Carnival ship. But again, for $200, you do get what you pay for. You're going to find the ships are generally a little more crowded because there's a lot of people trying to get those $200 deals. You're also going to find there's a lot more children. So if you're looking for a more adults-only experience, you don't want to go on the $200 a night Carnival cruise because it can be loud. The other thing that I find on Carnival is it's not as formal. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I do not like to get dressed up.
Our first cruise, we were, 2 tuxedos and a white dinner jacket and all your dresses. We did one cruise where we had 3 suitcases where you had to handle all the dresses for all the girls for all the different dinners. A lot of people in cruising have tried to move to more casual cruising, and that's something that Carnival and Royal Caribbean cater towards. So if you don't own a tux, go get one. They're way cheaper to buy than rent. But the point is, if you just don't want to put on a tux for a formal night, consider some other options. Maybe it's hard to say, because sometimes you have to decide, are you cruising for the excursions? Are you cruising for the experience? Are you having a special party or event, you want people to go for? I think there's probably more to pick than just the $200.
Absolutely. But again, if you want the $200 cruise experience, you will find those kinds of discounted cruises. Do not expect to be on an upper deck. Do not expect to be in an outside cabin. Do not expect the best of the best on this cruise ship. What you will find is a basic, fun family cruise, and there are other ways to find discounts if you want to bump things up to something else.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you this money back until you can give me a couple more dollars.
All right, so let's say we want to go on a Thanksgiving cruise. And, wow, how much would a 3-day Thanksgiving cruise cost us right now? Even if there were $200 staterooms. We'd need, no, it's not staterooms, it's per person. So we're looking at $200 plus charges, so let's say $300 a person. There's 6 of us, now we're at $1,800. And then we've got to add into this... the tips, gratuities, that could be another $50 a person with 3 of us, and now we're at $2,100. And that doesn't even include getting there or the parking and getting your bags out, tipping the baggage handlers. If you don't have bags, you get yourself. 3-day cruise for a couple of us could easily turn into, a $2,000 affair plus transportation.
It absolutely could. And I did price out through the American Airline offer that you got the other day, the $200 cruise in a cabin that we would want, which again, not necessarily the inside cabin. If I'm going to go away for a couple days, it came to about $2,300 when I did
not including the airfare to get there.
Not including the airfare, and that was the first person, and then the second person was like buy one get one 50% off, and then the kids were even a little more expensive than the second person.
If you live in the New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia area, can you drive to a cruise ship and make it the next morning?
You can. It's tight. You can get to Port Canaveral. Miami is a little bit harder. Fort Lauderdale is a little bit harder. But there are ships that go out of Baltimore. There are ships that go out of New Jersey and New York.
So if you want to save on airfare, rent a car, drive it down there, burn the miles in that rental car, park it, drive on back. It is doable.
So I am Anna from BeautyGirlsMom.com. If you'd like to subscribe, just click the button wherever it appears on your screen.
We'll see you real soon.